Hi dear, welcome to your favorite audiobook channel Wisdom Flicks, Living in the End. Chapter 1. Introduction. What it means to live in the end. Have you ever closed your eyes and imagined your dream life? The one where you're financially free, confident, fulfilled? Where everything just seems to flow? Now imagine waking up tomorrow and stepping into that life emotionally, mentally, and energetically, even if on the outside, nothing has changed yet. That's what it means to live in the end. Living in the end is a mindset, a philosophy, a decision to stop waiting for wealth and start embodying it right now. It means no longer begging the universe for change or constantly chasing the next solution. Instead, it means choosing to become the version of you who already has everything you desire. Think about it. Most people live in reaction. They let their current circumstances decide their mood, their confidence, their self-worth. They believe they'll be happy once they have more money. They'll feel secure after they land the job. They'll feel abundant when their bank account grows. But that's backwards. True wealth begins internally, in your beliefs, your emotions, your sense of identity. And when you start living as though you already possess the life you desire, the world around you begins to rearrange itself to match your inner state. This is not delusion. It's deliberate creation. When you live in the end, you speak from the end. You think from the end. You walk, breathe, and act as if the wealth has already arrived. This doesn't mean going out and spending money recklessly or pretending your problems don't exist. It means shifting your inner world to match your desired outer world, and trusting that alignment will lead to manifestation. Let's be clear, this is not a magic trick. It's not blind optimism. Living in the end is a practice. It requires intention, awareness, emotional discipline, and above all, faith. Not blind faith, but grounded faith in your ability to create a new reality by first living it internally. So how do you begin? You start by letting go of someday. You stop asking when things will happen and you start asking who you need to become to live that life right now. You look at your goals not as distant dreams, but as present truths. You begin to feel wealth before you have proof of it. You shift your identity to match your destiny. That shift changes everything. Living in the end is about stepping out of the cycle of lack and stepping into the frequency of fulfillment. It's about speaking kindly to yourself, making decisions that reflect your future self, choosing faith over fear, gratitude over guilt, vision over victimhood. This approach has been used by some of the most successful and magnetic people on the planet, not because they had all the answers, but because they knew how to align with the outcome before it was visible. They felt it first, lived it first, and then it became real. In this book, you're going to learn how to do the same. You'll learn how to shift from scarcity to abundance without needing your bank account to change. First, reprogram your subconscious mind to support your goals. Develop the habits and mindset of the wealthy version of you. Use emotion, visualization, and identity to speed up your success. Let go of resistance, self-doubt, and impatience. Attract the reality you desire by becoming the person who already lives it. You'll also learn how to find peace and power in the waiting, how to enjoy the now without needing the later to feel fulfilled. Living in the end means taking your power back. It's about no longer needing evidence to believe. It's about becoming the cause, not the effect. It's where imagination becomes instruction, emotion becomes the engine, and your future becomes your present. So take a deep breath. This book is your permission slip to start living wealthy before the world tells you it's okay. To stop waiting for signs and start being the signal. To live boldly, freely, and fully in the end you desire right now. Let's dive in. Chapter 2. The psychology of wealth. Wealth is not just a number in a bank account. It's not a paycheck, a title, or even the things money can buy. At its core, wealth is a state of mind, a deep inner belief about what's possible, what you're worthy of, and what you expect from life. If you want to experience real, lasting abundance in your outer world, you must first understand the psychology that governs it from within. Let's begin with a powerful truth. Money doesn't make you wealthy. Your mindset does. We've all heard stories of lottery winners who end up broke or celebrities who earn millions and lose it all. Why? Because their inner world was never conditioned to handle sustained abundance. They received wealth, but they didn't have the identity to match it. The psychology of wealth is about how you think, how you feel, and how you relate to money, success, and self-worth. If your thoughts are rooted in scarcity, fear, and doubt, no amount of money will create lasting peace. But when your beliefs are rooted in abundance, opportunity, and confidence, wealth becomes a natural extension of who you are. Scarcity versus abundance. Thinking. The first major factor in wealth psychology is your dominant lens, scarcity or abundance. People with a scarcity mindset believe there's not enough to go around. They feel like life is a competition. If someone else wins, they must lose. They fear running out of money. They hoard, overthink, and often feel anxiety around spending, earning, or asking for more. On the other hand, people with an abundance mindset trust that there's more than enough. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They believe that giving is a sign of strength, not loss. They expect good things to flow into their lives because they're tuned into possibility, not limitation. Here's a quick reflection. Do you feel guilt or fear when you spend money? Do you believe wealth is hard to attain or reserved for a lucky few? Or do you trust that money can come easily, ethically, and consistently into your life? Your answers will reveal the core programming that drives your financial experience. Your money blueprint. Each of us has a subconscious money blueprint, a set of beliefs formed during childhood that shapes how we perceive and interact with money today. Maybe you grew up hearing, "Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard for every penny." Without realizing it, these messages become mental scripts that run in the background, guiding your financial choices and sabotaging your progress if they remain unexamined. To reprogram your wealth psychology, you must first identify these beliefs and then consciously replace them with empowering ones. Try saying these out loud. I am open to receiving wealth in unexpected ways. Money flows to me with ease and purpose. Abundance is my natural state. At first, these may feel unfamiliar and even untrue, but that's the point. You are reconditioning your internal system to align with your desired financial reality. Self-worth and receiving. One of the most overlooked aspects of wealth psychology is self-worth. Many people subconsciously block abundance because they don't believe they deserve it. They ask for just enough to get by. They undercharge for their work. They accept less than their worth in relationships, careers, and opportunities. Why? Because deep down, they've equated self-value with net worth, and they're trying to earn what can only be accepted. To live in wealth, you must believe in your inherent worthiness, not based on effort, achievement, or perfection, but simply because you exist. You are worthy of wealth, love, peace, and joy. Not someday, not if you prove yourself, but now. The role of identity in wealth. Your brain is wired to stay consistent with your self-image. If you identify as someone who's always struggling, always broke, or just not good with money, your subconscious will sabotage anything that contradicts that identity, even if opportunities show up. But if you shift your identity to that of a wealthy person, everything begins to change. You'll start to think differently, act differently, and make decisions that align with abundance. Ask yourself, what does my wealthy self believe? How does my wealthy self feel? What does my wealthy self do when faced with challenges? Then, start showing up as that version of you. Now. Emotions. The fuel of creation. Your thoughts are powerful, but your emotions are the fuel. When you dwell in fear, worry, or lack, your energy signals not enough, and that becomes your experience. But when you feel gratitude, certainty, and joy in advance, you signal that you're aligned with abundance, and the universe mirrors that back to you. This is why living in the end is so transformative. You generate the emotional reality of success before the physical evidence shows up. You feel as if the money, freedom, and joy are already here, and in doing so, you attract experiences that match that feeling. Emotion is magnetic. Emotion is creative. Emotion is the bridge between thought and reality. Wealth habits are mental habits. First, the psychology of wealth isn't just about big ideas. It's about small, daily thoughts and choices. Wealthy people think long-term. They invest time in growth. They surround themselves with positive influences. They focus on solutions, not problems. They take calculated risks and bounce back from failure with resilience. All of these are mental habits, and you can adopt them, starting today. Here are a few powerful wealth habits you can cultivate right now. Speak about money with respect and gratitude. Track your finances without fear. Celebrate others' success as proof that abundance is real. Visualize your future self already living in wealth. Practice generosity, not as sacrifice, but as a signal of overflow. Final thoughts for this chapter. The psychology of wealth begins with awareness of your beliefs, your identity, your emotional state. It's not about pretending you're rich. It's about creating a rich inner world so that the outer world has something to reflect. You don't need more money to feel abundant. You need a renewed mind and a heart open to receiving. You are not here to struggle. You are here to expand, to evolve, and to experience the richness of life. Not someday, but now. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how to shift from scarcity to abundance, not just as a concept, but as a felt lived experience. Because when you start thinking like someone who already has it all, you begin attracting it all, effortlessly. Chapter 3. From scarcity to abundance. The inner shift. We often think of abundance as something we need to chase, something out there in the world, in careers, bank accounts, or material things. But the truth is far more empowering. Abundance is not something you pursue. It's something you allow. And in order to allow abundance into your life, you must undergo a powerful internal shift, a transformation from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking. This chapter is about that shift, a shift that doesn't require anyone's permission, a shift that doesn't depend on your current circumstances, a shift that happens within you, starting right now. Understanding the scarcity. Mindset scarcity is not just a lack of money. It's a deeper feeling of never enough. Not enough time, not enough love, not enough opportunities, not enough of you to be worthy. It whispers, I don't have what it takes. There's not enough to go around. If they win, I lose. I'll never get ahead. Scarcity turns life into a survival game. You hold tightly to what you have, fearing that if you let go, even a little, everything will fall apart. You begin to see limitations everywhere, and worst of all, you start to believe them. But here's the truth. Scarcity is a story, not a fact. It's a mental pattern, passed down from generations, reinforced by society, and lived out daily by people who don't know they have a choice. But you do, too. The awakening, questioning the story. The first step in the inner shift is simply becoming aware. You begin to observe your thoughts rather than obey them. Start to notice when you say, I can't afford that. When you think, that's not possible for me. When you feel envy instead of inspiration from someone else's success. These thoughts are not facts. They're conditioned beliefs. And once you see them clearly, you can choose a new direction. Ask yourself, who told me this? Is this always true? What would I believe if I were already abundant? You'll begin to see that the prison wasn't made of steel. It was made of assumptions, and assumptions can be changed. The language of abundance language is powerful. The words you speak reflect the thoughts you think, and those thoughts shape your reality. People who live in scarcity tend to speak in limits. I can't. That's too expensive. I never get a break. Things never work out for me. These statements aren't just expressions, they're instructions to your subconscious mind. They tell your brain, create more of this. But people who live in abundance speak differently. I'm open to new opportunities. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. I'm learning and growing every day. Everything is working out in my favor. Try shifting your language for a single day. Speak as if you trust life. Speak as if you expect the best. Speak as if you're already where you want to be. You'll feel the energy shift immediately, not because something outside changed, but because you did. The power of gratitude. If scarcity is rooted in not enough, then gratitude is the antidote. Gratitude says, there is enough, I am enough, and life is giving me everything I need right now. Gratitude is not about pretending you have what you don't. It's about fully receiving what you do have. Even now, no matter your circumstances, there's something to be grateful for. The breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the lessons you've learned, the courage to keep going. Gratitude shifts your frequency. It tunes your mind to see more of what's good, rather than obsess over what's missing. And when you're in that state, you become a magnet for more blessings. Try this simple practice. Every morning, say out loud 3 things you're grateful for, and let yourself feel the appreciation. Do it again at night. Watch how your mindset transforms in days. Visualization, living it before it arrives. Abundance is not something you wait for. It's something you live. Before it arrives, physically, that's where visualization comes in. Visualization is more than daydreaming. It's a mental rehearsal for your future reality. It's how you train your subconscious mind to believe in something before it's visible. Close your eyes and imagine waking up in your dream home, feeling calm and secure as you check your bank account, giving generously to causes you care about, traveling, creating, loving, and freely without fear. But here's the secret: don't just see it, feel it. Let the emotions of abundance wash over you now. Pride, peace, joy, confidence, relief. When your body feels it, your mind believes it's real. And once your mind believes it's real, it starts working with you to bring it to life. Inspired action from a place of abundance. Abundance isn't just about thoughts and feelings. It's about action, but not from desperation. In scarcity, people act from fear. They hustle frantically, chase everything, and burn out trying to get there. In abundance, you act from alignment. You're not chasing, you're creating. You're not reacting, you're responding with clarity, joy, and purpose. Ask yourself, what's one small action my abundant self would take today? How would I show up if I already believed it was done? Then take that step. Confidently, calmly. Every time you act from abundance, you reinforce the belief, and the belief strengthens the result. Surrounding yourself with abundance energy is contagious. The people you spend time with shape your worldview. If you surround yourself with scarcity, complainers, doubters, critics, their energy will pull you back down. But if you seek out abundance, people who dream big, speak positively, support growth, you'll rise with them. Abundance becomes easier when it's not just an idea in your head, but a reality reflected in your environment. Curate your inputs. Read empowering books. Listen to uplifting content. Join communities that inspire expansion. You deserve to be around people who see your greatness, even when you forget it yourself. Final thoughts for this chapter. The shift from scarcity to abundance is not about pretending. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing which reality you want to feed. Every day and every moment you have the power to choose fear or faith, lack or possibility, resistance or flow. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with each new thought, each new word, and each new action, you step closer to the abundant life that's already waiting for you. You're not becoming abundant. You're remembering that you already are. Chapter 4. Vision. First, reality. Second, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your ideal life. the one you often think about in quiet moments, the one that seems so far away yet so deeply yours. Can you see it? Now here's the question that changes everything. Are you waiting for life to give you permission to believe in that vision? If you are, you're not alone. Most people wait. They wait for the money, the opportunity, the right timing, then they'll believe. But here's the truth. The vision must come first. Reality follows. In this chapter, we'll explore how to lead with your vision, how to see with the eyes of your mind before your physical eyes catch up. Because the key to living in the end is to trust that what you imagine today is more powerful than what you see today. Let's break it down. Your current reality is old news, what you see. Around you, your finances, your relationships, your health, is not who you are. It's simply the evidence of past thoughts, actions, and beliefs. Think of your life as a movie playing on a screen. What's on the screen is already filmed. It's not where the story is being written. That's happening in the projector, in your mind. So if you want to change the movie, you don't fight the screen. You change the film reel, you change your vision. When you realize this, you stop reacting to your current reality and start creating a new one. That's true power. True. The power of clear, specific vision. A vague vision creates vague results. That's why many dreams never manifest. They're too blurry to be built. Think about this. If a builder asked you for a blueprint and you said, "Just make it nice," they wouldn't know where to start. The same goes for the universe. Responds to clarity. So here's your task. Create a precise mental blueprint of the life you desire. The more detailed, the more magnetic. Start with questions like, where do I live? What does my ideal day look like? How do I feel waking up each morning? What am I proud of? What kind of work am I doing? What does abundance look like in my relationships, health, finances? Paint it clearly in your mind. Let it be so vivid that it begins to feel real, because in your subconscious it already is. Emotional alignment. Feel before you see. The mind creates the image, the heart charges it with emotion, and that emotion is what brings it to life. Think of it this way. Your vision is the destination, your emotion is the fuel. But here's the trick. You can't wait to feel good after your dream arrives. You must feel it now, before there's any proof. This is what separates wishful thinkers from powerful creators. Powerful creators live in advance of their results. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I already had this? What would I be thinking? How would I move, speak, breathe? And then, be that person now. Walk in that identity. Not because you're faking it, but because you're aligning with it. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined moment and a real one, so give it a new experience, now. Acting as if, not pretending but becoming. Acting as if isn't about being fake. It's about being faithful to your vision. It's about embodying the mindset, habits, and energy of your future self today. Let's break it down. If your future self is wealthy, how does that version of you handle money? Save? Spend? If your future self is confident, how does that version of you enter a room? If your future self is successful, how does that version of you respond to challenges? Don't wait for the success to start behaving like that person. Become them first, and then the results will catch up. Remember, success isn't something you achieve. It's something you step into. Faith over evidence. Here's one of the hardest, yet most liberating truths. You must believe without evidence before you'll ever see evidence. Most people say, I'll believe it when I see it. But creators say, I'll see it because I believe it. This is faith. Not blind hope, but bold trust in your vision. You don't need others to validate it. You don't need your current bank account to support it. You just need to say, I've decided. This is my end. I'm living from it now. The universe responds to conviction, not desperation, not doubt, but quiet, powerful belief. Daily practices to anchor your vision. To keep your vision alive, you must revisit it daily, not occasionally, not when you're inspired, but as a discipline. Here are 3 simple practices. Morning visualization. Before checking your phone, spend 5-10 minutes with your eyes closed. See your future, feel it, hear it, smell it, taste it. Step into that scene as if it's happening now. Scripting. Write a journal entry as if it's already done. For example, I can't believe how amazing today was. I signed the contract. I feel so at peace knowing abundance is flowing in every area of my life. Gross. Affirmative identity statements. Say things like, I am the kind of person who attracts wealth effortlessly. My vision is more real than my past. Everything I need is already within me. These practices aren't about impressing the universe. They're about impressing your subconscious mind. And once it's convinced, it works tirelessly to make your vision reality. Letting go of the how. One of the biggest traps in vision building is obsessing over the how. How will I get the money? How will the opportunity come? How will I make it happen? But here's the shift. Your job is the what. The universe handles the how. This doesn't mean you sit on the couch and wait. It means you take action from alignment, not anxiety. You stay open to inspired nudges, not rigid plans. Often, the path reveals itself one step at a time, after you move forward, not before. Let go of the timeline. Trust the process. Act as if it's already done, and watch how the how appears when you least expect it. Final thoughts for this chapter. Vision is the blueprint of your future. And the most powerful creators on earth know this truth. The inner world leads, the outer world follows. The day you commit to your vision, not just in words but in emotion, identity, and action, is the day your future begins shaping itself around you. You no longer wait for signs. You become the sign. Chapter 5. Embodying the Future. You, living in the end. You've seen the vision. You've felt the emotion. You've committed to the belief. Now it's time to become the version of you who already has everything they desire. This is the heart of living in the end. It's not about wishful thinking. It's not about waiting. It's about stepping fully into the identity of the person who already lives the life you're creating. Because the truth is this: you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. In this chapter, we'll explore how to embody the future you in thought, energy, behavior, and presence, so completely that your reality begins to bend around your new identity. Identity comes before outcome. Let's begin with a fundamental principle. If you want a new reality, you must adopt a new identity. Think about it. If you want to be wealthy, it's not just about earning money. It's about becoming someone who naturally attracts, manages, and multiplies wealth. If you want confidence, you can't wait to feel it after you achieve success. You have to become someone who moves, speaks, and shows up with confidence now. The inner shift must come before the external shift. So ask yourself, who is the version of me that already has what I want? What do they believe? How do they act? How do they respond to challenges? What do they say yes to? What do they say no to? And then become them. Every day. The power of present tense identity. When you say, one day I'll be successful, you're reinforcing that it's not who you are today. But when you say, I am successful, even before the world sees it, you bring that future into the now. The subconscious mind responds to present tense identity. It doesn't distinguish between imagined and real when repeated often enough with conviction. So shift your language. I am wealthy. I am a magnet for aligned opportunities. I am peaceful, confident, and abundant. Speak it as truth. Feel it as truth. Live it as truth, and it will become your reality. Act. Don't just affirm. Affirmations are powerful, but without action, they remain words in the air. Embodying your future self means aligning your daily decisions with your vision, not just emotionally, but practically. Let's say your future self is a thriving entrepreneur. What does that version of you do? Wakes up early, networks consistently, invests in learning, follows through, then start doing those things now, even in small ways. Let's say your future self is healthy and vibrant. What does that look like? Nourishing meals, consistent movement, speaking kindly to yourself? Start now, even imperfectly. Every small act of alignment becomes a vote for your new identity, and over time, those votes compound into reality. Dress, move, and speak like the future. This might sound superficial, but it's deeply psychological. How you carry yourself signals what you believe about yourself. Think about it. If you believed you were powerful, would you slouch or sit tall? If you believed you were worthy, would you dress with intention? If you believed your voice mattered, how would you speak? You don't need a fancy wardrobe or dramatic makeover, but you do need to ask, is this how the future me shows up? Walk like them, breathe like them, speak like them, make decisions like them. Not to impress the world, but to impress your subconscious. Because when your mind sees your behavior matching your vision, it says, oh, this must be who we are now. And then it goes to work creating a reality that reflects that. Let go of the old story. To step into a new identity, you must be willing to leave the old one behind. That means letting go of, I'm not good with money. I always mess things up. I'm not confident enough. Success is for other people. These aren't truths. They're scripts. And you've outgrown them. You can't carry your past into your future and expect transformation. So it's time to rewrite the story. Say out loud, that's who I was. This is who I am now. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable. Yes, doubt might whisper. But the more you repeat the new identity, the more it becomes familiar and eventually automatic. Emotional calibration. Stay in the frequency. Every identity vibrates at a certain emotional frequency. The future you, the one living in abundance, peace, purpose, doesn't just do different things. They feel differently. They feel calm under pressure. They trust the process. They walk with joy and self-worth. To stay embodied, you must match that frequency. Not just once, but consistently. That means managing your internal state before external results shift. Returning to your vision when life feels uncertain. Using emotions as your compass, not your ruler. When fear comes, remind yourself, this is a test of embodiment, not evidence of failure. Breathe, realign, stay in the frequency of your future self. Environment shapes identity. You are constantly becoming who your environment tells you you are. So ask yourself, does my space reflect my future self? Do the people around me speak life into my vision? Do my habits support my new identity? If not, it's time to upgrade. That doesn't mean abandoning people or making massive changes overnight. It means curating what you consume, who you engage with, and what you surround yourself with. Small changes matter. Declutter your space to make room for the new. Read books that reinforce your new mindset. Follow voices that speak possibility, not limitation. Your environment is a mirror. Let it reflect who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Be consistent, not perfect. Let's be real. You won't feel like your future self every single day. Some days you'll fall back into old patterns. That's human, but the key is this. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency. If you fall off track, gently return. Remind yourself, I'm practicing, I'm evolving, I'm aligning. The more you return, the stronger the identity becomes. Repetition creates embodiment. Embodiment creates results. Closing reflection 2. Live in the end means to be the version of you who already has what you desire. Not in some distant future, but right now, in every breath, every choice, every moment. And here's the beautiful truth. When you become that person, the world around you will have no choice but to match it. Opportunities will align. People will respond. Circumstances will shift. Not because you forced them, but because you finally stopped waiting to see it and started being it. So start today. Walk as if it's already done. Speak as if it's already yours. Live in the end, and the end will meet you where you are. Chapter 6. Daily Rituals to Live in Wealth. Now, wealth is not just something you accumulate, it's something you embody. It's a state of mind, a way of being, and most importantly, a daily practice. You don't become wealthy by waiting for a number to appear in your bank account. You become wealthy by living in the energy of wealth every single day. In this chapter, we're going to shift from concept to practice, from wishing to wiring. These daily rituals are not just habits. They are identity reinforcements. Each one is designed to reprogram your mindset, uplift your energy, and align your actions with abundance. Let's dive in. Gurnt. Morning wealth. Alignment. Your day begins the night before, but it's won in the first 30 minutes after you wake up. Start your morning by intentionally aligning with abundance. Here's a simple morning wealth ritual. Step 1. Wake in gratitude. Before reaching for your phone, place your hand on your heart and say, "Thank you for this day. Thank you for another opportunity to align with abundance." Step 2. Affirm your identity. Speak wealth-anchored affirmations aloud. I am already abundant. I create value effortlessly. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. Step 3. Visualize wealth in action. Close your eyes for just 3 minutes. See your future self living in freedom, ease, and impact. Feel it, smell it, walk through it. Make it real in your mind. When you open your eyes, you're no longer stepping into the day. You're stepping as your wealthiest self. The Millionaire Minute. Check in. Most people live their day on autopilot. Wealthy minds check in often and course correct when necessary. Once every few hours, pause for 1 intentional minute and ask yourself, am I thinking, feeling, and acting like the version of me who is already wealthy? This tiny ritual resets your internal compass. It disrupts scarcity spirals. It recenters you in power. Make it easy. Set a phone alarm labeled Wealth Alignment. Use sticky notes with this question on your desk or mirror. Take 1 conscious breath and re-embody the feeling of abundance. This simple minute, repeated daily, has the power to rewire years of unconscious limitation. Speak the language of wealth. Words create your world, and the language you use daily either reaffirms your limitations or expands your abundance. So speak as if you're already wealthy. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, say, I'm choosing to direct my resources elsewhere. I'm broke. Say, I'm temporarily in a transition phase. That's too expensive. Say, that's not aligned with my current priorities. Practice wealth-calibrated language. This isn't about pretending. It's about protecting your frequency. Speak with power. Speak with clarity. Speak like someone who already has options, because you do. Wealth journaling. Every evening, open your journal and anchor yourself in wealth consciousness. Here's a journaling ritual you can follow. A. Celebrate abundance. Write 3 things you received or experienced today that made you feel abundant, no matter how small. Example: a friend treated me to coffee. This trains your brain to recognize wealth everywhere. B. Rehearse your wealthy identity. Answer this prompt. How did I show up today as the wealthiest version of me? Celebrate alignment. Reinforce confidence. C. Script your future now. Write a short journal entry as if you're already living your wealth dream. Example: today I woke up in my dream apartment. I spent the morning reviewing my business investments. Feel it. Write it with detail. Let it become familiar. This nightly ritual bridges your present and your future until they become one. Give before you get. Want to trigger the flow of abundance? Give something every day, not because you have to, but because you can. Wealthy people are givers. They give time, attention, value, money, not from guilt, but from overflow. So make it a ritual. Send a kind message to someone. Tip a little extra. Share a resource. Give away what you no longer need. Say aloud while giving, I live in overflow. There's always more where that came from. When you give freely, you tell your subconscious, I am not in lack. I am in flow. That belief attracts more than any hustle ever could. Move your body. Like your already free energy is stored in your body. If you feel stuck, heavy, or stagnant, it's often because your body hasn't caught up with your mindset. Here's how: the shift. Move every day like the wealthiest version of you already lives inside you. Walk with your head held high. Dance to music that makes you feel rich. Stretch in silence while visualizing your future. It doesn't have to be a full workout. It just has to feel powerful. Let your body become a vessel for wealth. Because when you feel free in your body, your mind follows. Protect your energy. Like its currency, your attention is your greatest asset. So create daily boundaries that protect your focus and elevate your frequency. Make this a daily ritual. Limit exposure to negative media. Say no to conversations that drain your spirit. Unfollow accounts that reinforce scarcity. Meditate, breathe, or sit in silence, even for 5 minutes. Ask yourself, is this feeding my abundance or leaking my energy? Treat your energy like gold, because it is. 8. Evening closure. Release and reset. Before you sleep, bring your energy back to peace. Close your eyes and say, everything is working for me. I did enough. I am enough. This soft ritual does 2 powerful things. It tells your nervous system that it's safe to rest. It tells your subconscious to work on your behalf while you sleep. Let your dreams be fertile ground for new realities. Final thoughts. Wealth is a daily decision. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need more evidence. You just need practice. Daily, conscious, intentional practice. These rituals don't take hours, but over time they rewire your default patterns and reprogram your beliefs. Because wealth doesn't show up when you finally deserve. It shows up when you finally decide to live like it's already yours. Every day is an opportunity to live in the end. Every breath is a chance to be who you were always becoming. So begin again, today, and again tomorrow. Chapter 7. Letting go of the how when we set big intentions, whether it's financial freedom, a dream home, or a life of luxury, the first thing our mind wants to do is figure out how to get there. That's where most people get stuck. They ask, but how will it happen? And when the answer doesn't arrive in a neat little package, doubt creeps in. Resistance builds. Progress stalls. In this chapter, we'll talk about the power of letting go of the how. Why releasing control over the process is the very thing that unlocks the result. And how to stay anchored in belief when you don't yet see the full path ahead. The illusion of control. Let's start with a truth that may feel uncomfortable. Trying to control how your dreams manifest is often a form of fear in disguise. It's your mind saying, I don't believe this can happen unless I can logically explain every step. But the future you're calling in, the abundance you're attracting, doesn't play by the rules of logic alone. It plays by the rules of alignment. You don't need to know every turn the road will take. You just need to trust that you're on the right road. Imagine planting a seed in fertile soil. You water it, give it sunlight, and nurture it. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust the process. Abundance is no different. The universe works through unexpected channels. We often assume our goals will manifest through the most logical route. But wealth rarely arrives the way we think it should. A new client may come from a random introduction. A job offer may appear after a chance conversation. A breakthrough idea may drop in during a walk or shower. That's the magic of alignment. It attracts results through the path of least resistance, not the path of most planning. So when you try to force how something should unfold, you might actually be blocking the miracle that's trying to reach you from another direction. Stay open, stay flexible, let life surprise you. Focus on the what and why, release the how. Here's the shift that unlocks ease. Your job: get crystal clear on what you desire and why you want it. Not your job: obsess over how it's going to happen. When you obsess over the how, you invite pressure, doubt, and perfectionism. When you focus on your what and why, you invite clarity, passion, and creative flow. Try this exercise. Write down your wealth goal. I want to earn $500,000 annually doing work I love. Then write your why. Because I want to provide freedom for my family, travel the world, and live without limits. Now release the how. Literally write, I release the need to control the how. I trust that the way will reveal itself as I take aligned action. This is not about passivity. It's about power without pressure. Inspired action versus forced action. Letting go of the how doesn't mean you sit on the couch waiting for money to fall from the sky. It means you act from alignment, not anxiety. There are two types of action: forced action, rushed, desperate, rooted in fear. I have to do this now or nothing will work out. Inspired action, calm, clear, rooted in trust. This step feels exciting and true. I don't know where it leads, but I'm guided to take it. Wealth flows through inspired action, not burnout, not hustle, not fear-based control. When you let go of needing to know every detail, you create space for ideas, intuition, and synchronicities to guide you. One inspired move can do more than 100 panicked ones. Let your future self lead. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the wealthiest version of yourself, confident, relaxed, thriving. They already have everything you desire. Now ask yourself, how would they behave right now? Would they be stressing about how, or would they be trusting the path? Let your future self become your mentor. This version of you already knows the way, already trusts the timing. They are not panicked. They are patient, powerful, and poised. Each time you start spiraling into how, pause and ask, what would the wealthiest version of me do right now? The answer will almost always be relax, act with purpose, trust the unfolding. Practice the art of surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It's giving over your fear to something bigger, to intelligence, intuition, to flow. Here's a short daily practice you can use. The surrender statement. Every morning, speak this aloud. I surrender the how. I trust in perfect timing. I take aligned action and allow life to work with me. Say it in the mirror. Say it when you feel resistance. Say it until it becomes your truth. Remember, manifestation isn't about control. It's about co-creation. Letting go creates magnetic energy. Here's the most fascinating part. When you release the how, you become magnetic. Why? Because your energy shifts from resistance to flow. You stop trying to force outcomes and start becoming the person who attracts them. People sense that energy. Opportunities gravitate toward it. Money flows to it, because wealth loves ease. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start trusting, and trust is magnetic. Final thoughts. The how is not your job. It's easy to believe that success is a puzzle only the smartest can solve. But the truth is this: you don't need to figure out every step in advance. You only need to take the next true step, the one that feels aligned, exciting, and alive. Let go of the need to know how. Let the path surprise you. Let the universe rearrange itself around your clarity and trust. Because when you live in the end, as if your dream is already real, the how begins to show up, one magical step at a time. Chapter 8. Faith as a wealth frequency. Faith. It's a word that carries deep meaning across cultures, religions, and philosophies. But in the realm of wealth, faith takes on a unique and powerful role. Faith is not just belief without proof. Faith is a frequency, a vibration, that aligns you with the flow of abundance. In this chapter, we'll explore how cultivating faith acts as a magnet for wealth, why it's essential to tune your inner frequency to it, and how you can strengthen this vital connection every day. What is faith in the context of wealth? When most people think of faith, they imagine religious or spiritual belief. While faith can be spiritual, in the context of wealth, it's something more practical and powerful. Faith is unwavering trust that what you desire is already on its way to you, even if you don't see it yet. It's the confident expectation that your efforts, your vision, and your intentions are not in vain. It's the inner certainty that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Without this faith frequency, doubt and fear creep in, draining your energy and blocking your flow of abundance. Faith in wealth is the invisible bridge between your present reality and your future prosperity, the science of vibration and frequency. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs emit vibrations that attract similar energies. Faith is a high-frequency vibration. When you operate from faith, you emit a signal that matches the energy of abundance and opportunity. Science calls this the law of attraction, but it goes beyond a simple like attracts like. It's about alignment. When your internal state matches the frequency of what you want, it begins to manifest in your external world. Lack of faith, conversely, emits low-frequency signals of doubt, worry, and scarcity. These lower vibrations push wealth and opportunity further away. Faith raises your vibrational signal, and this alone transforms your wealth trajectory. How faith fuels wealth creation. Faith is the engine that drives perseverance, resilience, and inspired action. When you deeply believe that wealth is coming, you take bold risks because you trust the outcome. Keep moving forward through challenges, knowing setbacks are temporary. Stay patient without losing momentum. Remain open to unexpected opportunities. Faith prevents you from giving up at the first sign of difficulty. It keeps your mindset focused on solutions, not problems. Consider faith as the emotional fuel powering your journey toward financial success. Building faith, starting with small wins. If faith feels elusive, start by recognizing the small successes you already have. Reflect on times you achieved what once felt impossible. Recall moments when things unexpectedly worked out. Celebrate daily wins, no matter how minor. These small wins build confidence and reinforce your belief that abundance is not a distant dream, it's a natural part of your life. Every time you acknowledge progress, you're tuning your frequency higher. Faith grows in proportion to the evidence you give your subconscious that your desires are attainable. Faith versus blind optimism. Faith is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It's not ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. Faith is grounded in trust and knowing, even when the current circumstances seem challenging. Optimism can be fleeting, but faith is steadfast. When you combine faith with realistic planning and action, you create a powerful synergy. You accept where you are now, but hold an unshakable belief in where you're going. Daily practices to cultivate faith. Just like a muscle, faith grows stronger the more you exercise it. Here are some daily practices to help you strengthen your wealth frequency. Affirmations. Repeat statements like, I have unwavering faith in my ability to create wealth. Abundance flows to me effortlessly. Or, I trust that everything is working out for my highest good. Visualization. Imagine yourself already living in wealth. Feel the emotions as if it's real. Joy, security, freedom. The emotional experience amplifies your faith vibration. Gratitude. Regularly acknowledge the abundance already present in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to plenty, reinforcing faith. Meditation. Spend quiet moments tuning into the feeling of faith. Let go of doubts and breathe into trust. Overcoming doubt and strengthening faith. Doubt is normal, even natural. But you don't have to let it control your wealth journey. When doubt arises, gently observe it without judgment. Ask yourself, is this doubt based on fear or facts? What evidence do I have that contradicts this doubt? Then return your focus to faith. Remember, faith is not the absence of fear, but the choice to move forward despite it. You can also strengthen faith by surrounding yourself with positive influences. People who believe in abundance, books and stories of success. Environments that uplift rather than drain your energy. Faith creates a powerful feedback loop. Here's the beautiful part. Faith and wealth create a feedback loop. The more faith you cultivate, the more wealth you attract. The more wealth you attract, the stronger your faith becomes. This positive cycle grows exponentially. Faith becomes your superpower, a magnetic frequency that aligns you effortlessly with prosperity. Final thoughts. Tune in to the faith frequency living. In the end, dwelling in wealth before it arrives requires tuning your internal frequency to faith. Faith is the quiet but powerful energy that moves mountains. It connects your heart's desires to the infinite possibilities of the universe. When you embody faith, you become a wealth magnet, not because you know all the answers, but because you trust the journey. So today, make a commitment. Tune your frequency to faith. Feel it deeply, live from it, and watch how the universe answers with abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Chapter 9. Reprogramming the Mind for Prosperity. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It shapes your reality, colors your experiences, and governs your relationship with wealth. If your mind is stuck in patterns of limitation, fear, or scarcity, no amount of external effort will create lasting prosperity. But the good news? Your mind can be reprogrammed. Just like software updates a computer, you can upgrade your mental operating system to align with abundance, success, and wealth. In this chapter, we'll explore how your current programming influences your financial reality, why reprogramming is essential, and practical strategies to transform your mindset into a fertile ground for prosperity. Understanding your current mental programming from childhood, culture, family, and personal experiences, your mind has absorbed countless beliefs about money and success. These beliefs form an internal script, often unconscious, that influences every financial decision you make. Common limiting beliefs include: money is hard to come by. Rich people are greedy or dishonest. I don't deserve wealth. If I get rich, I'll lose my friends or family. There's never enough to go around. Even if these beliefs aren't fully conscious, they silently dictate your actions and reactions. Before you can reprogram your mind, you must first become aware of these limiting scripts. The power of belief systems. Your beliefs create your personal reality. Psychologists say that your brain filters experiences to confirm your existing beliefs, a phenomenon called confirmation bias. If you believe money is scarce, you'll notice every sign of lack in your life, reinforcing that belief. If you believe you are worthy of abundance, you'll naturally attract opportunities and resources. Changing your belief system changes your perception of reality and, ultimately, your results. The neuroplasticity of the brain. Your brain is not fixed or static. Neuroscience reveals that the brain is plastic, meaning it can rewire and form new connections throughout your life. This neuroplasticity is the foundation for reprogramming your mind. When you consciously choose new thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, you create new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways become your default mental settings. Prosperity mindset is not about pretending to be wealthy. It's about training your brain to recognize and respond to abundance as your new reality. Practical steps to reprogram your mind for wealth. Identify limiting beliefs. Begin by journaling your thoughts and feelings about money. Ask yourself, what stories do I tell myself about money? What fears or doubts come up when I think about wealth? Where did these beliefs originate? Write down any limiting beliefs you uncover. B. Challenge and replace. Negative beliefs. For every limiting belief, write a positive, empowering replacement. For example, limiting. Money is hard to come by. Empowering. Money flows to me easily and frequently. Whenever negative beliefs arise, consciously replace them with these affirmations. C. Use affirmations. Daily affirmations are positive statements that reprogram your subconscious. Repeat affirmations like, I am worthy of unlimited wealth. Abundance is my natural state. I attract financial opportunities effortlessly. Say them aloud with conviction every morning and night. D. Visualize your prosperous life. Visualization connects your conscious mind to your subconscious. Desires. Spend a few minutes daily imagining your life filled with wealth. See yourself enjoying abundance, making confident decisions, and living freely. Feel the emotions of success, joy, security, pride. E. Surround yourself with abundance. Triggers your environment affects your mindset. Surround yourself with reminders of wealth, inspirational books and podcasts, success stories of people you admire, images or vision boards representing your financial goals. These cues reinforce new neural pathways of abundance. Overcoming resistance and doubt reprogramming. The mind can bring resistance. Old beliefs fight to maintain control because they feel safe and familiar. You might experience moments of doubt or discouragement. When this happens, acknowledge these feelings without judgment. Remind yourself, change takes time, persistence, and patience. Celebrate small wins and progress to stay motivated. The role of emotional conditioning. Thoughts alone are not enough. Emotions are powerful reinforcers of beliefs. When you connect positive emotions to your new prosperity beliefs, your brain learns faster. Practice feeling gratitude, excitement, and confidence when thinking about wealth. This emotional conditioning cements your new mindset deeply. Building a prosperity. Habit consistency is the secret sauce. Make mindset reprogramming a daily habit. Create a routine combining affirmations, visualization, journaling, and gratitude. Over weeks and months, these habits become automatic, transforming your mental programming permanently. The impact on your wealth journey. A reprogrammed mind acts like a compass guiding you toward opportunities, networks, and ideas aligned with prosperity. You become more proactive, creative, and open. Your decisions reflect confidence rather than fear. This shift not only changes your external results, but also your internal experience of wealth, making abundance feel natural and deserved. Final thoughts. Your mind, your wealth engine. Your mind is the engine driving your financial destiny. By consciously reprogramming it for prosperity, you unlock the limitless potential within. You move from reactive scarcity to intentional abundance. Remember, wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in your bank account. Commit today to rewiring your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Your prosperous future is waiting, programmed and ready for you to activate. Chapter 10. Creating your wealth. Identity. Who are you, really? Not just in terms of your name or your job, but the identity you carry inside. The story you tell yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and what is possible for you. Your identity shapes everything. It's the blueprint for your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your destiny. When it comes to wealth, your wealth identity is the foundation for lasting prosperity. In this chapter, we will dive deep into what it means to create a powerful wealth identity, why it's essential, and how to consciously design it so that it naturally attracts the abundance you desire. Understanding identity and its power identity is the lens through which you view yourself and the world. It's made up of your beliefs, values, habits, and even your language. Most people operate from an unconscious identity that was shaped by their upbringing, culture, and experiences. If your current identity is tied to struggle, limitation, or scarcity, no amount of external effort will lead to lasting wealth. You can't build a millionaire's life if you think like a person who never has enough. Wealth identity means adopting the mindset, behaviors, and self-image of a person who naturally attracts and manages abundance. The story you tell yourself. The narratives you tell yourself every day have incredible power. Consider these common stories. I am not good with money. I will never be wealthy. Rich people are different from me. I'm just an average person. These stories limit your potential and reinforce scarcity. The first step in creating a wealth identity is rewriting your internal narrative. Imagine the story you want to live by, one where you are capable, worthy, and successful. Start telling that story to yourself and others with conviction. The components of a wealth identity. A strong wealth identity is built on several key components. A. Beliefs. Core convictions about money and abundance. Examples: I deserve wealth. Money is a tool for freedom. I attract opportunities easily. B. Values. What wealth means to you beyond money? Freedom, security, impact, joy. Clarify your values to give your wealth purpose. C. Habits. Daily actions that reflect your wealth identity. Examples: budgeting, investing, learning about finances, networking with successful people. D. Language. The words you use shape your reality. Replace scarcity-based language with abundance-focused speech. Say, I am building wealth instead of I'm struggling. E. Emotions. How you feel about money matters. Cultivate feelings of confidence, gratitude, and excitement about wealth. Designing your wealth. Identity. Creating your wealth identity is a conscious act, a process of self-discovery and design. Start by asking yourself, how do wealthy people think and act? What beliefs do they hold? How do they spend their time and money? How do they carry themselves? Reflect on role models or mentors who embody the wealth identity you aspire to. Next, write down your new identity statement, a clear, present tense declaration of who you are as a wealthy person. Example: I am a confident, financially savvy person who attracts abundance effortlessly and uses wealth to create positive impact. Repeat this statement daily, internalize it, and live by it. Acting as if. The power of embodiment. One of the most powerful tools to create your wealth identity is to act as if you already are the person you want to become. This doesn't mean pretending or living beyond your means. It means adopting the mindset, behaviors, and attitudes of your wealthy self. Dress in a way that makes you feel confident. Speak with assurance about your goals. Make decisions that align with abundance, not fear. By embodying your future self now, you send a strong signal to your subconscious and the universe that you are ready to receive wealth. Building new habits that reflect your wealth identity. Your identity is reinforced by your habits. Identify habits that wealthy people practice and start integrating them into your life. Regular saving and investing. Continuous learning about money and business. Setting and reviewing financial goals. Networking with positive, success-minded individuals. Prioritizing health and self-care to sustain energy. Consistency in these habits rewires your brain and solidifies your new wealth identity. Overcoming imposter syndrome and limiting self-image. As you shift your identity, you may face internal resistance known as imposter syndrome, the feeling that you don't deserve success or that you're a fraud. This is a natural part of growth. When these thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment. Remind yourself that identity transformation takes time. Reaffirm your new identity statements. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Over time, your authentic wealth identity will replace these doubts with confidence. The ripple effect of a wealth identity. When you fully embrace your wealth identity, the effects ripple outward. You make smarter financial decisions. You attract like-minded people. You open doors to opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Your life begins to reflect the abundance you feel inside. And because identity shapes actions, this cycle becomes self-reinforcing. Your wealth identity creates wealth reality. Final thoughts. Becoming the wealth you seek. Wealth is more than money. It's a way of being. By consciously creating your wealth identity, you align your inner world with your outer desires. This alignment empowers you to attract, manage, and multiply abundance effortlessly. Remember, you are not waiting for wealth to change you. You are becoming wealth now. Start today. Design your identity with intention, embody it with confidence, and watch as your life transforms into the abundant reality you deserve. Chapter 11. Overcoming doubt, delay, and disbelief. The path to wealth is often romanticized, filled with visions of instant success and effortless abundance, but reality tells a different story. Every journey toward lasting prosperity encounters three formidable obstacles: doubt, delay, and disbelief. These are natural experiences. They don't mean you're failing or that wealth isn't for you. They are part of the human process of transformation. In this chapter, we'll explore how to recognize these challenges, understand their roots, and master practical strategies to move through them with grace and confidence. Recognizing the three obstacles, doubt whispers in your mind. Are you really capable? Or, what if this doesn't work? Delay shows up as procrastination or the feeling that the results are too far away, tempting you to give up or get distracted. Disbelief is the deep-seated inner resistance, the part of you that questions if wealth is truly possible or deserved. Acknowledging these obstacles is the first step. When you bring them into conscious awareness, their power over you begins to weaken. The roots of doubt, delay, and disbelief. These obstacles arise from underlying fears and old conditioning. Doubt often stems from fear of failure or past disappointments. Delay can be linked to fear of success, uncertainty, or lack of clear direction. Disbelief usually originates from long-held limiting beliefs, the subconscious story that wealth is out of reach. Understanding where these feelings come from helps you approach them with compassion rather than frustration. The cost of giving. Power to these obstacles. When doubt, delay, or disbelief dominate your mindset, they drain your motivation and energy, cloud your judgment with negativity, sabotage your consistent action, create a cycle of stagnation and missed opportunities. Left unchecked, these forces can stop you from living the abundant life you desire and deserve. Strategies to overcome doubt. Question your doubts. Whenever doubt arises, ask yourself, is this doubt based on fact or fear? What evidence do I have that contradicts this doubt? What would I say to a friend who had this doubt? This practice helps you break the negative loop and regain clarity. B. Focus on past wins. Remind yourself of previous successes, no matter how small. Celebrate your ability to overcome challenges before. This builds confidence to face current doubts. C. Take small, consistent actions. Action is the antidote to doubt. Break your goals into manageable steps and complete them daily. Momentum builds trust in yourself and silences the inner critic. How to navigate delay. Clarify your why. Reconnect deeply with your reason for pursuing wealth. A strong why ignites passion and combats procrastination. B. Set realistic timelines. Understand that wealth building takes time. Set achievable milestones and celebrate progress rather than obsessing over instant results. C. Practice patience. Delay is not denial. Trust the process and allow time for your efforts to bear fruit. Use waiting periods for learning, reflection, and skill building. Healing. Disbelief. Disbelief is often the hardest obstacle, rooted in years of conditioning. A. Revisit your wealth. Identity. Return to the identity work you have done. Remind yourself, you are worthy and capable of abundance. B. Surround yourself with proof-consumed stories, testimonials, and examples of people who have achieved wealth against the odds. This external validation helps shift disbelief into possibility. C. Use affirmations and visualization. Affirm daily, I believe in my ability to create wealth. Visualize yourself living the prosperous life you desire with vivid emotion. Building resilience. Through mindfulness practices, such as meditation, deep breathing, or journaling help you observe doubt, delay, and disbelief without judgment. This awareness creates space to respond rather than react impulsively. Resilience grows when you accept these obstacles as temporary visitors, not permanent residents. The power of support. You don't have to face these obstacles alone. Seek mentors, coaches, or supportive communities who believe in your potential. Their encouragement can bolster your courage and provide practical guidance. Reframing setbacks as growth. Understand that setbacks and challenges are part of the journey, not signs of failure. Each obstacle is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and strengthen your commitment. Reframe difficulties as stepping stones toward mastery. Final thoughts. Moving beyond resistance, doubt, delay, and disbelief are not barriers meant to stop you. They are signals that transformation is underway. When now you face these challenges with curiosity, patience, and self-compassion, you move closer to the wealth and freedom you seek. Remember, every successful person has walked this path. Your ability to overcome these obstacles today is the foundation for a prosperous tomorrow. Stay committed, stay confident, and keep moving forward. Your abundant future awaits. Conclusion: living rich now, not later. As we reach the close of this journey, it's essential to pause and reflect on the core truth that we have explored together. Wealth is not a destination, it is a way of being. Too often, we trap ourselves in the future, telling ourselves that riches, happiness, and success are someday rewards. We imagine that once we reach a certain bank balance, a milestone, or a goal, then we can finally relax, enjoy, and live the abundant life we deserve. But what if that thinking is exactly what's holding us back? Living rich now means embodying the abundance you seek in this very moment, before the external signs even show up. The paradox of wealth does not arrive first and then transform us. Instead, transformation comes first, a shift in mindset, identity, and daily practice that opens the door for wealth to flow in. You don't need to wait for permission from your bank account, your job title, or your circumstances. You can choose to live as though you already are wealthy. By doing so, you align yourself with the energy and frequency of abundance. You magnetize opportunities, create meaningful connections, and invite prosperity to become a natural part of your life. Abundance is a present experience. True wealth encompasses far more than money. It's about freedom, joy, peace, and fulfillment. When you cultivate these qualities now, you create a rich inner landscape that sustains you no matter what external conditions look like. Living rich now means feeling grateful for what you have today, celebrating small wins and progress, giving generously knowing abundance is infinite, making choices from a place of confidence, not fear, prioritizing self-care, growth, and meaningful relationships. Your daily invitation each day is an opportunity, a fresh chance to step fully into your wealth identity. Practice the rituals, mindset shifts, and habits we've discussed. Act as if, with conviction and grace. Trust the process and release the need to control every detail. Remember, wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about alignment. The ripple effect of living rich. Now, when you choose to live rich now, you influence not only your own life, but the world around you. Your abundance mindset uplifts your family, friends, and community. It inspires others to see what's possible. You become a beacon of hope and possibility. This ripple effect magnifies your impact far beyond financial success. Final words of empowerment. You hold the key to your prosperity, not in distant dreams, but in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Today, let go of waiting. Release doubt and fear. Embody the wealth that is your birthright. Live rich now, not later. The life you desire is already within you, waiting to be fully realized. Step into it boldly, with faith and joy. Your abundant future is unfolding right now.